After 10 years of enduring whispers, ridicule, and a deep sense of isolation, Amara's world changes with an unexpected twist that leaves her breathless. Just when she believes her prayer have gone unheard, a long-buried flicker of hope reignites in the most surprising way. Her journey filled with pains and resilience culminates in a moment so profound that it transforms everything. The emotional weight of the past and promises of a new beginning converge in a single life-altering revelation. Viewers will be captivated by the depths of Amara's story, eager to see how her journey unfolds to the very end. In the heart of Lagos, where the street buzzes with life and the air is thick with the scents of jollof rice and suya, there lived a woman named Amara. She was known for her kindness, her quiet strength and underlying faith. But beneath her warm smile and gentle nature, Amara carried a burden that weighed heavily on her heart, a burden that only a few could truly understand. Amara married her husband Chike in a ceremony filled with joy and laughter. The union was blessed by their families and the future seemed bright. But as months turned into years and those years become a decade, the only thing that they both longed for remained elusive: a child. At first, the whispers were subtle. Her in-laws, who once embraced her with open arms, began to distance themselves. They never said anything outright, but their actions spoke volumes. When her sister-in-law brought in her children to visit, Amara noticed she would quickly intervene if Amara tried to discipline them. "Don't worry, Auntie Amara," she would say with a forced smile. "I will take care of it. You know how children can be." The implication was clear. How could a barren woman understand the ways of children? The words cut deep, but Amara held her tongue. She knew that any protest would only make things worse. But as time passed, the subtle jabs became more direct. At family gatherings, her mother-in-law would often lament, "Ha, when will I carry my son's child? Some people are just blessed with fruitfulness, but others, well, if it's God's will." The other women would nod in agreement, their eyes lingering on Amara, as if she were some tragic figure to be pitied. Began to treat her differently. They would offhandedly remark about how lucky she was to have no real responsibilities at home. "You should be grateful, Amara," one colleague said with a smirk. "You have no children to worry about. You should be taking more projects. You have the time." The workload increased and the snide comment about her childlessness became a daily occurrence. The once supportive environment turned cold and unwelcoming. But through it all, Chike stood by her. He was her rock, her comfort in the storm while the world turned its back on her. He was there, holding her hands and reminding her of her worth. "Amara, you are more than enough for me," he would say, his voice filled with sincerity. "Children or no children, you are my everything." His words gave her strength, but even the strongest walls have cracks. Amara's heart was no exception. There were nights when she would cry herself to sleep, the weight of her pain too much to bear. She would lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering what she had done to deserve such a fate. But every morning, she would raise up, put up a brave smile and face the world with as much dignity as she can muster. And then, one fateful morning, everything changed. Amara had been feeling unwell for a few days, an odd sensation in her lower abdomen, accompanied by waves of nausea. At first, she dismissed it as just another ailment, something insignificant in the grand scheme of her life. But when the symptoms persisted, Chike insisted she see a doctor. The doctor, a kind woman with a reassuring smile, ran a series of tests. Amara sat in the waiting room, her heart pounding in her chest. She had been to doctors before. Endless consultations, examinations, and treatments that had all led to nothing. But something felt different this time. She couldn't explain it, but there was a small flicker of hope in her heart, a hope she had long buried. When the doctor returned, she had a strange look on her face, part surprise, part joy. "Amara," she said softly, "you are pregnant." Amara felt the world tilt on its axis. Pregnant? After 10 years? It seems impossible. She stared at the doctor, waiting for her to laugh, to say it was all a cruel joke. But the doctor smiled only widened, and she repeated the words that Amara had longed to hear for so many years. Tears streamed down Amara's face as the reality sank in. She was going to be a mother. After a decade of heartache, of feeling less than, of being ridiculed and pitied, one thing she had prayed for was finally happening. She rushed home to tell Chike, who lifted her off her feet and spun her around, laughing and crying with joy. The months that followed were a blur of anticipation and disbelief. When the day finally came, Amara not held one, but two babies in her arms, a boy and a girl. She felt a peace she had never known. The pain, the sorrow, the cruel words, and all of it faded away as she looked into the eyes of her children. They were perfect, and they were hers. The news spread quickly, and those who had once mocked her were now silent. The same in-laws who had questioned her worth now came bearing gifts, eager to meet the twins. Her colleagues at work congratulated her, their past words forgotten, and even her co-wives who had once called her barren now looked at her and something that resembled hope and respect. But Amara knew the truth. The journey had been long and painful, and it shaped her into the woman she was. She had survived not just because of her strength, but because of the unwavering love of her husband. Together, they had faced the darkness and emerged into light. As she cradled her twins, Amara whispers a silence of prayer. She had finally come home.